Hello.
Hi, Tony.
I've got to ask.
I'm
what was
so
it like?
excited to talk to you, Tony. I can't.
You're making me feel like a celebrity, and I'm
you
not.
are to us.
You are.
You are. What was it like transitioning from black and white to color? Was it like mayhem? Was it like Y2K?
It was unbelievable, and you wouldn't believe it nowadays. A lot of things that happened back then, people, they think I'm spinning stories or I'm making it up. But the problem with color was getting the flesh tones right. So you would have people coming in volunteering and they'd have their whole face dark green or orange or whatever, and then they'd try and play with the tubes to make it balance and be the right color. Wow. And the other thing that happened with the color televisions, a lot of them came from Japan, and the flesh tones were different in Japan to here. So they would add orange or add blue to the face, all sorts of stuff.
Sounds like it was more hassle than it was worth.
Well, yeah, but color was like a big deal. I saw color come in. I saw Dolby come in. I got, HD come in. I directed the first ever HD transmission by accident.
What was that?
The very first thing we did at Sky in HD was a thing showing how wonderful HD was, and it was shown to two groups of people. They all had to arrive very early. They were taken to Jimmy's restaurant in Soho, and because above Jimmy's restaurant was John Logie Baird's office. And that's where the first ever television transmission was from, which was the office above Jimmy's restaurant.
Right. That's so you I see. So you sort of like this is where TV was.
Yeah, and when they went into Jimmy's, we'd got a lot of monitors with natural history stuff on it, so it looked stunning. Then they were all walk round the corner to, what's that club? There's a club round the corner, Groucho Club.
Oh, the Groucho. We've been in there once.
Oh yeah.
They were taken to the Groucho Club. And it was in there that we actually did the talk and played the videos. But the problem was the equipment was so new and it was so delicate that once you'd had a rehearsal and you'd played the tapes and given the chat, because it was James Murdoch doing the talking, the minute we finished, we had to stop. And then back at Sky, they had to reboot everything and hope it played correctly for the actual meeting. It all went well. The share price rocketed, and I didn't lose my job. But
what was your job through the BBC and so on? And how did you sort of get onto Fawlty Towers and stuff?
Production? They called first ADs or senior floor managers production assistants then. But of course, I know production assistants as the very clever ladies that do the timings and call the shots.
So you were senior floor manager on Fawlty Towers for 5 episodes. Okay, right.
David
Tony,
just had a little.
I adore Fawlty Towers, and it's like a little magical world.
I only did the first 6.
Oh my god!
So you did series 1,
the second 6, but I took something else.
Wow. I feel like you've got a little key into a magical kingdom, though.
Well, I've been doing this job for 60 years now.
How old? Right. Wait, Joe's. We wrote loads of questions down, so I don't want to sort of miss any.
No, it's okay. 77.
You're 77.
No, we got 77 questions. To be fair,
that's good. That's good. And I've only
Are you still working?
I've only just finished working with John Cleese on a series of 6 one-hour chats called the Dino Hour.
You've just done that recently?
Yeah, I did that in May and June. It's being transmitted this coming Sunday at 9 o'clock. And I think the first one is Friends. He was given the brief that he could film whatever he wanted, with whomever he wanted, wherever he wanted. I don't think anybody in television land's been told that.
Yeah. And so have you worked with him on lots of stuff then? Is he?
No.
Oh,
I worked with him
just
on the
randomly.
first series of Fawlty Towers. I was asked to do the second series, but I turned it down because I was asked to go and do the Voyage of the Beagle, sailing all the way around South America on a replica ship going to all the places Darwin.
Yeah, I get that.
I couldn't turn that down.
That's a sweet. So you worked on Fawlty Towers, then you had a bit of a gap, and then you worked with John Cleese again last few months.
Yeah,
they haven't done anything in between.
No.
Okay, that's weird.
We've gone in.
Did you go Remember
directions.
Me? Did you say Remember Me from Fawlty Towers?
Well, apparently he said he remembered me, but maybe I'm quite loud.
Right, David, do you want to dig? So just to warn you, Tony, David's going to dig into very.
Can you send over the questions, Joe?
Yeah. I've got some answers here. Maybe they'll match.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think some of my questions might test your patience, Tony.
No, not at all.
Right.
No, it will.
No, it will. Right.
So
okay.
David wanted. I'm going to. So how did you end up on Fawlty Towers? What was the?
How old were you?
I worked in studio management, and studio management sourced all the floor managers, ASMs, etc., for all of light entertainment. They didn't cover drama. Drama had their own stuff, but we would cover light entertainment, further education, religious programs, some sport, and basically I'd done a reasonable amount of light entertainment before that, and I got the gig. But then I was quite young. I think initially I was the youngest PA floor manager in the Beeb at the time.
Really?
I think I got the job at 24 or 25.
So for people who don't know what your role, what is the floor manager for people who don't know?
On this, it wasn't floor manager, it was PA, because basically what happens is that you would join the production team, you'd be in the office, you'd get the scripts, and you would then break the script down. You'd go through every single page, working out how much was location, how much was studio, how many extras, how many staff. And basically, I'd have a huge set of boards with each scene across the top. And then vertically going down be the name of the cast, the names of the extras, the props that were required, the costume that was required, all these kind of things. So you could cross-reference and make sure you had everything for every scene, because on a show like that, you haven't got time to stop, really.
No.
We very rarely, we would go segue straight the way through if we could, which is very important for an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So they keeps their interest, sort of thing.
Right. I'm trying to work out what questions to.
Well, it was so basically it was a sort of randomness to you getting the job. So you kind of they like, are you available? It wasn't like you read the script and was like, oh, this is amazing, I want to work.
No. Basically, I was permanent staff. So I'd get probably my deputy head of department call me in, we'd have a chat, and he'd say, this is going, would you like to do it? Yeah, I'd love to do it, bum, bum, bum. But then I wouldn't be offered that in the first place if the producer director didn't like the sound of me and the work I'd already done.
Yeah.
Right. And did you read, and this, sorry, I'm helping David with his question.
Yeah, this is annoying me actually, Joe.
Good. When you read the scripts, what did you think of them?
I thought it was great.
So you knew it was going to be
I've
brilliant.
worked on probably 4 or 5 things in my life where you got a kind of buzz and you had a feeling it would work.
Really?
And that was one of them. Another was Cloche Schmerl. There have been a few where not many. I mean, I've been doing this for 60 years, so 4 or 5 isn't many. I mean, a lot of run-of-the-mill things I knew would work well, but this one I did get a buzz from.
Oh, you thought, right, really did think it was special. Bloody hell.
Do you want me to
aware?
Go through a few bits?
Yeah. Oh, Tony, are you kind of, I know you worked on it, but are you sort of grateful that you had that experience?
Oh, yeah, and I do feel quite angry about what's happened to the BBC since then. You know, I feel that various people have devalued it since then. I felt, when I left in about 1990 and went over to Sky, I felt very proud of what I'd done.
Yeah,
I'd done some phenomenal. I mean, I'd worked all over South America on Darwin. I'd been in the Arctic with Amundsen's race across the South Pole. I'd done Clochemel. Yeah, I felt very proud of what I'd done, and the whole industry held the BBC up as, you know, basically a training centre and place to poach good staff from.
Yeah.
And since then, the various things that have happened there have kind of devalued it, and I feel very sad about that. I mean, I do understand that Telecentre wasn't up to date and would cost a fortune to reboot, and we also needed to, you know, go into the provinces. But I just feel that it's been handled very badly for quite a few years.
Well, you don't think they're putting out as the same sort of quality, or having sort of, they're not the people that set.
I don't think anywhere is, but then I don't think people are brave. I mean, I was working with John and he was talking about a few things. He reckons there's no way on God's earth Fawlty Towers would get commissioned today. And he wasn't talking about any of the anti-racist stuff.
He just thinks that what red tape.
People aren't brave anymore.
Right.
Basically what happens now, instead of, I can't remember who I think it was Michael Mills. He had a meeting with Michael Mills, and Michael Mills said, what do you want to do? And he told him, and he went, oh, good, okay, make 6. Nowadays, you'd send it off to a committee of 30 different people. They'd have meetings, sub-meetings. They'd then say, well, we need to be more diverse, and we want to change it this way and that way. And at the end, you'd end up making something that you hadn't written. It's a different world. People are not brave.
It's a kind of too many cooks thing, isn't it? Maybe.
I think so. There's also the fear of doing something wrong.
Yeah.
People are very scared.
So there's no sort of pilot thing. There was it, mate.
They'd done one just before I arrived.
They made a pilot.
Sorry?
They made a pilot.
Yeah, but that pilot then went out in the first 6, I think. I can't remember which one it was, but that's my theme. I mean, we're going back 50 years. I do remember that the location of the hotel, which wasn't, everybody thinks it was in Torquay. It was
burnt down, didn't it?
Yeah, it was in Bourne End. Yeah.
The
weird thing is, I thought it was supposed to burn down the following week. It's now quite amazingly a set of houses.
I mean, I Google it a lot, probably once every 6 months.
Well, it was a weird place because I turned up to book it for the film.
My God, you went there? Shit.
Oh yeah. We had to go there to film, didn't we?
Yeah, I know, but I can't believe this, Tony.
So anyway, I go there, and it was a Monday morning. I got there at 10:30, 10:45, knocked on the door, and the cleaner answered the door.
Oh my God!
And she said, "Oh right," she said, "the boss is around. I'll send him up. Go up to the boardroom, which is directly above reception." God. So I go up to the boardroom and I walk in, and the boardroom table is about 12 foot long, and it's piled to about 3 feet high with 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 10-shilling notes. Huge pile of money. So I stood with my back hard against the wall because I didn't want him to think I'd taken a couple of handfuls.
What the hell was their money? Was it a front for something?
What?
Are you in the middle of a drug smuggling ring or something?
Well, no, but it was well dodgy because I think it was the kind of place you could rent rooms by the hour.
Oh, gotcha.
You're right, because at Sky, we had a really great rigger who really knew his stuff, who used to go there as a kid with his dad, and his dad was the bouncer with security there. No. And he said he remembers 2 things happening there. One day he was walking along behind this Arab bloke, and the Arab had dropped one of his chips. Right. And he picked the chip up and went up to the Arab guy and went, "Here, mate, you dropped this." And he said, it's all right, keep it. It was 10 grand.
Wow.
The other thing that happened was there was a Jaguar party.
Gambling chips, not
gambling.
Potato
yeah, I was
chips.
going to say. I was going to say, why is he picking up
It wasn't
a chip?
cotton chips. No, cotton chips.
I have to admit, I thought we had a massive problem then. I was like, okay, I don't understand what.
Tony, sorry, Tony, I've got to. Right, what was that building? What was it? Was it a nightclub? Was it?
It was basically a club where you could gamble, you could hire a room. You could take your second.
Wasn't a sweet little hotel.
It had that kind of feel about
it. Did any of the interiors match any of that?
We only used the exterior.
Right.
Can I ask one question, Tony? When you're looking at did you find the location or did someone else?
No, the location was found when they were doing the pilot.
Right, because you go. I'm always intrigued because someone's got to have a brain to go. That can look like a little sweet little hotel, even though it's like a den of iniquity at the moment.
Yeah, it looked right, didn't it?
Oh, it's perfect.
But I'm a bit like, what do you mean it was a casino and it's a sweet little
it
B&B?
wasn't a sweet little hotel.
It is in my head. It is.
In actual fact, I'll tell you another story. That rigger, he told me one day his dad was there and all hell broke out because a guy had pulled up in a Jaguar and was sitting in his Jaguar, and a guy stepped out of the bushes with a sawn-off shotgun and blew his head off.
What?
Yeah. But then they found out he'd killed the wrong guy because it was a hitman to top someone and he'd shot the wrong guy.
That happened. So next time I'm watching Fawlty Towers, that's all and they see the front.
Sorry, mate.
And it says, David, what were one of the things that the sign says out the front?
Yeah, like Fawlty Towers.
Oh yeah,
I'll be thinking someone had their brains blown out just behind that sign.
Yeah, absolutely right.